Welcome everybody to the fourth Eden Fractal meeting. We're going to get started in 10 minutes in the breakout rooms, and until then we're just going to hang out and we're going to set some stuff up.
If anyone wants to check out Discord, if you've been here for the last 2 meetings and have been longing to receive NFTs, your promised NFTs, hit the Discord channel and claim them. If you were in that meeting, you're on the whitelist to claim them.
Sounds awesome. Thank you, Chuck.
Dan, you will give us a presentation in a bit, right?
I'll start to interrupt you with my please continue.
No problem. No, I just wanted to know, because like while you're preparing your presentation, I think Felix just raised an important point. In 2-3 weeks, on July 9th, we have the next Eden election, which is basically like the larger corporation. We are the Eden Fractal, and the Eden community is having their next election on July 9th, and it's basically a larger meeting. And maybe one proposal that I would bring forward is that this Fractal is concerned about maybe getting a couple of more Eden members signed up, and potentially those that are already Eden members make sure that they're registered for the election. This would be one interesting aspect that I think would be a goal that we can reach, and we can have some ideas on how we achieve that. Because like this is how I see these fractals. They're a little bit like a task force. We can unite under like a small goal, at least like those that are not developers, and help us to build the tools that we need. We have also a couple of community builders here, content producers, so that's something where I would think that would make sense to grow the Eden community overall. Any thoughts on that?
It's a fantastic idea, Martin.
Yeah, I agree.
It's kind of the way things grow. You watch people do things in a low stress environment, and then you're like, oh yeah, I could do that too. And we've seen the success of people showing up to the weekly Fractally meetings, and it's just a matter of getting together and meeting some people, getting on the same page as each other, and that's exactly what we should have been doing in Eden right from the beginning, is just forming tighter relationships like every week. But you know, when we only see each other 6 months or 3 months apart, there's very little continuity. We don't know each other when we show up for elections. So this really helps with everything.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's a great point that Felix made and that Martin made, that this really is really helpful for our DAO and the Eden community and so forth, and help everybody cooperate and see each other more. And I'm excited to talk about that more soon.
Yeah, and I guess I'll kind of throw an idea out there real quick. Is one thing that I like to, all of us support this idea is when we go into the election, I personally will be running to see how far I can go. But the idea though is also, if I end up giving up my vote, whoever I give my vote to, I want a commitment from that person to be able to fund this process in some way, at least a little bit of funding from their delegate or chief delegate budget. I think that's important. If we get funding, that this tests this process even more, because when there's more money on the table, there's more legitimate, I think, actions and potential like other problems could arise, and it'll just be interesting to really test the process when there is real money on the table, that will attract more people. So yeah, that's an idea that, like I said, I would really like to see us kind of all rally behind. Is we should be supporting candidates who are willing to support us. through funding. And yeah, so.
Okay, cool. Sounds great. Thanks, Felix. We're going to go into the breakout rooms in about 4 minutes. So I think that it's probably best to discuss this more after the breakout rooms. I have a presentation prepared that I can just quickly go through in like 2 or 3 minutes for anybody who's new or just would like a refresher. Do you think now's a good time to just share that, or would anybody like to ask any questions or lead it in any other way instead? Okay, I got a thumbs up from Vlad, so I'm going to go with that. And I got a thumbs up from Martin too. And feel free to jump in too if you have any questions or comments or anything like that. Most people on the call have probably seen this presentation already, so yeah, just keep it casual. Share screen. Okay, you can all see it, right? Okay, cool. Got more thumbs up. Thank you. Appreciate it. Love the visual feedback and the smiles. Okay, so welcome everybody. Thanks for joining. And there's a bit of an itinerary here. We're doing the introduction, and in about 3 minutes, we're going to go to the breakout rooms. The breakout rooms will be 40 minutes long, and then we'll post a consensus and discussion both in the Zoom chat, and also Vlad built a new tool, which I'll show you briefly if Vlad hasn't showed you already, that we're going to try out posting consensus directly into the into EOS, which is awesome. So thank you, Vlad, for building that. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here. It's super, super helpful and super exciting, and this is awesome. This is the Eden Fractal, and this is the 4th meeting that we've had. First 3 have been super fun. We're recording the community room right now, and I'll share this on YouTube and stuff. I encourage everybody else to record as well. I think that could be really helpful. It's also partially for consensus reasons too, because I'll record the Zoom chat to make sure we get the consensus right. And we're not recording, or I'm not recording the breakout, or I'll be recording my breakout room. But if you want to record your breakout room, then I would suggest you do that on your computer, or ask me for permissions, although I don't know how to do it, or OBS or something like that. Hope everybody enjoys this meeting. Hope everybody has a really fun time. I think the general goals, and this is still up for discussion amongst the community, of course. This is just my opinion, but I think it should be basically to help Eden and help EOS and have fun. I think those are good goals. There's the itinerary. So we'll break out into breakout rooms in 3 minutes, and then for 3 to 5 minutes, each person will share what they're doing to help Eden and to help EOS, or to help EOS. Either one works really, I think. And then try to focus on your contributions, what you're doing to help the community, or what you've done to help the community over the past week or however long. And it'll be 40 minutes long as opposed to 45 minutes long with the Genesis faculty group, where we'll rank the contributions. To form consensus, you have to have at least 66% of the people in your group to agree on the order from 1 to 6. And this is the tool that Vlad built. Maybe Vlad can share a link, or somebody can share a link. It's like edenfractest.com or something like that, where basically you just put the group number, and then you write the EOS account names of the rank 6 and rank 2 and rank 5 and so forth. And the rank 6 is the highest or the most helpful. So that's what we'll try today. In addition to just posting in the Zoom chat, we'll do it both ways, and you just do 6 to that. And then thank you so much. Everybody's helping a huge amount just by participating here, and everyone deserves a great amount of respect. And so thank you very much. All participants earn respect, EOS, and NFTs if they reach consensus. NFTs either way, I believe. The rewards are EOS at 100 EOS per week that I've been sponsoring with Eden Creators, and Patrick is about to sponsor with Nova Crypto. And then we'll raise funding in the future. Hopefully we can talk about that in the future. We're also working on updating MSIG, and then we have respect, on-chain EOS, and NFTs that Chuck just shared some links in the Discord. Check those out if you haven't yet. We published the week 3 earnings previously, and yeah, just repeating, forming consensus 40 minutes, and then we'll share the links and stuff for the Zoom chat and the new tool on EOS that we can build. So does anybody have any questions or thoughts? And thank you again.
I had a quick question regarding the tool that Vlad built and just shared in the chat. Maybe everybody can copy the link out. In case we only have 5 people in the group, do we leave the last one blank? Yeah. Is this correct? Okay. Yeah. And are we filling these out in the breakout rooms and then submit to, or in the main room?
There is a limit of 2 hours. I just started the election.
Okay.
So yeah.
Awesome.
Could be done after as well.
Sweet. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, it works just like Hive, where we have 2 hours of post. So you don't have to post it during your room, but you can post it in the post room in the hour afterwards, because that's something I didn't mention too. So we'll end this at approximately the end of the hour or 4 minutes before it, and then we'll have an hour to discuss. And during that time is a good time to also try to do the posting on the EOS with the Vlad's tool. Okay, are we ready? Should we go into the breakout rooms now? Okay, sounds good. Okay, I'm opening up the breakout rooms now. Hope everybody has a great time.
See ya.
Hey, Patrick, can you hear me? Patrick, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
I just have some problem with the connection. Okay, so
Okay, it's good now. Oh, it's on YouTube room.
I am not in a. I am only with you.
No, it's
No.
on YouTube room right now.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
See you.
All right, see you.
Switch networks. So I can switch networks and then it just reconnects. Basically, Zoom in the background holds the line for me. I'm not sure if this is for you the same. But sometimes I just switch from mobile to Wi-Fi, etc. We'll see.
Okay.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Martin. Hey, everybody.
Hey everyone.
Nice to see you. Hey,
Morning.
Pascal and Jorge and Matthias. Good morning, Michelle.
Oh.
So we are jumping right in, or does anybody not familiar with it? Is anybody not familiar with the process? It's not. Do we have any virgins here? I don't think so. Everybody seems like a veteran here of the fractal meeting. Awesome. Yeah, well, I can start like my contributions. I can keep it short. I was pretty busy with Pomelo stuff. We're doing the Pomelo NFTs, so that's not necessarily directly a contribution to Fractally, but EOS. But I will bring the contributions first that I think are important for Fractally and Eden. I'm still doing research in comparing Eden and to other DAO platforms and other DAO structures, because I think it's kind of, we're doing some unique things here. And what I have in mind is kind of like a spreadsheet where you have like the pros and cons of the different platforms and how Eden compares to them. For example, like what kind of ID verification we have, and the breakout rooms and the fractal governance, et cetera, So I'm working on this. If anybody is interested in cooperating with this, my DMs are always open. Another thing about the circle, like the NFT.Eden circle, is forming, I think, as one of the groups, which Chuck is leading, and there's one working group. And I've been working with them a little bit. Today I helped Chuck setting up the drops, so the NFTs for these rewards can be distributed. And yeah, that's basically the direction in which I long-term want to contribute. Eden and EOS helping like NFT rewards, having NFT mechanisms, and later on having like a curator fractal. So, but this is still in process. Other than that, yeah, back to the Pomelo stuff. Besides the NFTs, I'm working I'm also setting up the Pomelo pitch sessions for the Korean and the Asian community, as I'm like, that's my main job, doing the Asian community for EOS Nation, Pomelo, and Dodgems. So these were my contributions. Thanks a lot. And I assign the next speaker. Josh, you want to go?
Oh, sorry, before proceeding, so you are working a comparison between Eden and what specific other platforms?
There are other Eden there are other DAO platforms where you can basically spin up a DAO or that people use as tools, right? There's, for example, Haifa, there is Aragon, there is Super DAO. There's because DAOs will become something that you want to start spinning up, and there will be self-service platforms. I think how does Eden or Fractally position itself in comparison? So I want to work and research on this and work out the benefits of Eden or Fractally.
So you're working comparison between Haifa, SuperDAO, Eden,
Aragon.
Aragon.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But currently, it's really early phases. It's research that I'm doing in order to learn more about what tools are available and how do we have benefits. I think it's long term. This is something that you can easily give somebody as a one-pager in order to don't have a 1.5 hours talk in order to introduce the whole concept or tell somebody, hey, you need to read the book from Dan Larimer. It's called More Equal Animals, etc., etc. Giving somebody an introductory paper is really powerful, and you can spread it. We can translate it in multiple languages, and I think that's something useful. And I'm missing this in our community.
Thank you. So you pass the baton to?
No, anybody else questions? Sorry, I should have asked. It's good that you asked.
Yeah. Not a question in my side, but just I mentioned that maybe Martin, we can after everybody puts on contribution, we can discuss a bit how to bring more equal animal or Fractally governance process very easily to everybody. So it's something that I'm also working on.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Thanks.
Great.
Yeah, there's lots of exciting stuff that you said there that I want to explore in the future too, but I'll save it for later.
Cool. Yeah, I think these meetings are more basically introducing each other, what we're working on, what's our interest, and then after the meetings, we can basically network and connect and prepare for the next week and see if we cooperate on something. We don't need to do this in this meeting, but again, okay. Cool. And I assigned Josh to be the next one.
Me?
Yeah, is this George? Is this Jorge or George? Jorge, sorry, my bad.
Okay. Well, I'm going to the chat right now. Where is the chat? Right here. And I sent you guys a Hive post, which is my 5th post regarding my in-depth analysis of fractal democracy. This post is related to, oh, did I send it?
Yes.
No, I didn't send the right one, sorry.
Oh, yep.
I'll send the right one now. Give me a second.
That's an interesting post that you posted, Joshua's rankings.
Right there.
For I'm just joking.
Right there is the last post I sent to the chat. So it's the 5th post I do regarding fractal democracy. I have been analyzing several aspects, one of them being noise in these breakout rooms. And this post deals with possible vector attacks that the whole protocol can suffer. So I cited 3 of them, one being noise being exploited by an attacker, which is pretty much the same thing that happens in whole societies. An attacker increases noise in order to generate confusion. After the confusion is maximized and the people is partially or totally paralyzed, the attacker proposes a direction, and then that direction opens a door for another whole set of vulnerabilities. The second vector attack is data analytics, and is based on the fact that in these meetings and doing video recordings, we are generated a ton on unparalleled data. So a sophisticated attacker could use some artificial intelligence to use this data that we are generating we are generating in these video meetings to do psychological profiles, intellectual profiles, and of each and every one of the members, and then try to psychologically trick some high-profile individuals. It's more detailed in the post. And third, vector attack is, well, that I identified is velocity of accurate value discovery, which basically considers two fractal democracies or two communities competing for a given resource, for example, a market segment, and one of them being more efficient in his value discovery. So that more efficient community lures the other community members or high value members into leaving that less efficient community and coming to the more efficient one. And this creates a vicious cycle of even less velocity of in value discovery, and depletes the target community from members. So that's my analysis for this week. I hope you are looking at the post. And as I said, it's the fifth in a row of more in-depth post regarding this wall protocol. So if you have any questions, I'm all ears. If not, I'll send the baton to Mr. Sales, Matthias.
Yeah, any questions to the article, or should I start?
I just wanted, yeah, I can hear you. I just wanted to quickly ask Jorge. So you did 5 in total. So basically all the Hive posts that you did so far in the last 5 are all one series.
Yeah, it's a series. This is the 5th one,
Okay.
which I publish. I am basically publishing 1 or 2 per week. This is the
Okay.
5th one, and
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks.
So yeah, I joined for the first time in this fractal this week. So yeah, very glad to be here. And this is about EOS and/or Eden contributions.
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So I'm in the process of onboarding a few new members to Fractally and/or Eden. Some of them have joined already, but you know, this is more about Fractally. When it comes to EOS, yeah, I'm building a protocol for private transactions at the moment. This is what I worked on over the last year and keep working on it. I just put out a white paper a few days ago, or a week ago, I guess, already. I know a lot of you have probably seen it already. And yeah, that's my contribution so far. I don't know if you guys want me to go into any more detail about this. If not, I would just keep it short.
Yeah, could you please post the link to the white paper? I'm really interested in it.
Sure. I posted it on GitHub. You can find it here.
By the way, my 5th post has the link to the 4th one and the 4th one to the 3rd one, so you can read them all like in a chain, Martin, if you're interested.
Yes, one thing why I asked was you could all have them like with one headline that kind of introduces them all easy. Like, anyway, let's stick with Matthias.
Yeah, any questions? Happy to.
Well, I just want to say that I admire very much the thing you're doing. I didn't expect you were so young.
Thanks. I'm very happy that I have the opportunity to work on such a cool project. To be honest, I was almost a bit wondering when I started that no one did it yet on EOS, because that was something that you could see in many ecosystems. I saw teams, you know, collecting millions of dollars on other blockchains just to start a project exactly like this. And EOS got so much traction. That was the most valuable project on EOS a few years ago. And I couldn't believe that no one picked up on that. Yeah, that really showed how dead the community is. But this is changing, or at least it looks like that. And yeah, so I have some really cool things cooking, especially with the new Orchard update the Zcash guys did. So I'm very busy working on this. I'm wiring the new circuits for the new proving system, and this is going to be so much cooler than everything I already put out, like the testnet demo and all that. So even a few things in the white paper are already outdated, but you know, I wanted to put something out so that, because I don't have anything else right now, right, to show the community. As I mean, no one really knows what I'm working on in detail, and this paper was very important to share the vision. And yeah, the concepts there, I think, are very valuable for EOS, because it's way more than just private token transfers and all that. It goes way beyond that.
So are you the sole developer in this project?
Again, sorry?
Are you the sole developer in this project?
As of now, I have support from other people. So Nat from the DApp network is helping me a lot. And I'm actually currently trying to like really onboard him with payment and all that. So I'm having a meeting with him sometime this week. And he would be a really valuable addition because he knows exactly what I'm doing. He's super supportive since day one. And, you know, for me, like the whole DApp network stuff is still very important for the project. So I couldn't build this right now solely on ZEOS, on EOS because of certain limitations that might change in the future. But as of now, the DApp network is very important for ZEOS, and and Nat is very, very supportive and made some great contributions already, like just ideas, you know. I learned a lot about DApp myself, and unfortunately, the DApp network also kind of died a little bit over the last years. Yeah, that was just, I think, you know, that was just also due to, you know, the tragedy of EOS itself. But I'm very confident that we are also able to revive that a little bit. And yeah, you know, ZEOS could be like one of the first app to, you know, that makes use of it, and hopefully also incentivizes some more, you know, DSPs to come back online again, because this is the biggest issue right now that the DApp network has. But yeah, we're working on all that, and my current goal is, so the ENF is also very supportive of the project, which is great. They are very open to add crypto primitives into the protocol. Unfortunately, it turned out that even that will probably not be efficient enough to make it, you know, economically feasible, right? To have pure on-chain verification. So I'm exploring several ways. I hope that that Nat will join me, because he would be a really great addition in that regard, you know, doing some research and evaluation. So we are exploring multiple scaling opportunities right now. Yeah. There's a lot going on, yeah, but yeah. You can always reach out to me. I'm also in the Telegram channel. I'm sharing a lot of this, and I'm also planning maybe to start a YouTube channel just for that. Yeah, to give some more regular updates on all that. Let's see how much time I have. So,
Sounds
yeah,
awesome.
Cool. Yeah, thank you so much, Matthias. That's super amazing and super helpful. I just wanted to jump in real quick and ask, did everybody see my my broadcast? I just sent a message saying there's 23 minutes remaining. I just wanted to check to see if that was working through Zoom.
Yeah,
I saw it.
23 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we should probably just logistically, we still have 3 people left to go and only 23 minutes, so we should probably try to keep it pretty short going forward. But yeah, thank you so much, Matthias, and that's all amazing and super interesting to hear.
Okay, then I would nominate Pascal to go next.
Okay, good. Thanks, Matthias. Hi, everyone. So I'm here to support, as I always say, I was on the last meeting, and I'm here to I support this initiative on taking the Fractally governance process and then deploying it on EOS. So as a member of EOS, of Eden, my contribution this week have been to inform the members that I have in Eden on this new way of doing governance on EOS. those members that I brought them in, they bought the old fractal that we got, which was election every three months, and now is to translate them back to the new process, which is this one. So it's not easy to convince somebody to change. So it's what I'm doing this week. Hopefully they will join us here in the future. The other thing that I wanted to make sure as of today, the tools we have in Eden Fractal, I would say in my outside view, they are less compelling. Let's say the website. So I was asking this week. I spoke with Patrick, and then he directed me to Dan. So maybe Dan later you will speak on that. How can we make the website Eden Fractal more compelling, more for non-members, so that they can easily join and then understand what we are building. So it's one of the things that I was trying to find out who is the person in charge of this week. Apart of that, nothing special. So one, bring all the members that I got in Eden to this new process, and then to make sure that we have a good website so that new member can easily join. So that's my contribution this week. If anyone has a question, feel free.
Cool. Jorge, you muted.
So are you a website developer, Pascal?
I can build a website, like not program, like I can build a website that can be easily for everybody to join, to say, okay, I go to Eden Fractal, I understand what is it, and then I will join. So, but the advanced functionality, I will not program it. And at this point, I don't think, in terms of just the website, it's not what we may not need an advanced website. You know, it's also to make sure that if we send people to edenfractal.com, that they are not afraid, you know, because we understand our refactor, everything, and they don't understand very well. But if I send somebody that is not, you don't understand this factor things, it's like, oh, what are you sending to me, you know? So
cool. Yeah, thank you very much, Pascal. I don't know if you saw, but just yesterday I started up a new channel in the Eden Discord under the Eden Fractal category called marketing. And then I made a note about the website and I tagged you, although I'm not sure if the tag worked because I tagged you after I edited it by accident. So because Patrick showed me your message about the website. And so I'm very interested in improving the website and looking forward to talking with you and whoever else is interested about that more in the future. So yeah, thank you very much for that.
I will send the button to Dan.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. So thank you so much, Pascal, and everybody for the amazing contributions. We only have 17 minutes left, so I'll try to just give a very brief overview of what I've been doing to help EOS and help Eden and so forth. I have a bit of a presentation here. So this is the Eden Fractal website that can be sometimes scary, as Pascal was saying, that could use some improvement, but I've just been doing some light maintenance there. I also have been, I've also been operating the Eden Fractal Twitter account. And so I put out this tweet yesterday to summarize the Eden Fractal rewards and so forth. And I also had previously made this piece of art. So I shared that as well. And then I promoted it in 5 or 10 different related EOS and Eden Telegram groups. I don't know what I was trying to show here because it was just loaded, but I also sent the 100 EOS. I've been sponsoring with Eden Creators for the first 5 weeks with funding from Eden and EOS. So the rewards from last week were sent from that. I hosted the EOS Hot Sauce, where I also featured the EOS white paper and wrote about that quite a bit. So thank you so much, Matthias. And then I've just been working full-time in EOS, basically with lots of different media creation and community building work and stuff like that. Also featured the Eden Fractal a little bit during this week's Hot Sauce. I retweeted Patrick's tweets here. Usually I try to do it in more order, but this might be a little bit out of order right now. I also joined the Helios Twitter Spaces on this Friday, and I spoke about EOS and the Eden Fractal and fractal governance for probably 20 minutes or so. So that was really good and participating in that. If anybody's not familiar, Helios is an EOS base and EOS.io venture capital firm and incubator. I also co-hosted the Eden Town Hall show with Felix Reese. I've been posting these for the past month or so, and then I posted the video from the town hall there, and so people can listen to that. I also joined the Alien Worlds community because Dwayne Felipe, who's also here, started the Alien Worlds Fractal, which is really cool and exciting. Can be a great way to spread fractally. And so I also I joined there, and then I spoke a bit about Alien Worlds and also about the Eden Fractal and EOS and so forth, kind of networking with people who are based on Wax. And Alien Worlds is a hugely popular game that can be really helpful to network with people there. And then I also spoke about the Eden Fractal in the Fractally meeting this week, both during the breakout room. I shared what I'm working on with the Eden Fractal, and then also in the post breakout room, I asked a couple questions to Dan Larimer and some other and a bunch of other community leaders in the Fractally After Party and so forth about Eden Fractal and EOS and related subjects. I also coordinated with Vlad. I mean, this is very much Vlad's project. Vlad built it, but I was just coordinating with Vlad throughout the week to help build this tool and also help him test it and so forth. And just, we just kind of went back and forth about how it could work and stuff like that. And then yesterday, I also, or 2 days ago, I changed the MSIG for the Eden Fractal. So, I changed the active permission. So I worked on that for a while to just figure out how to do it. So now there's 6 people on the active permission, and the owner permission will be changed after we do a test transaction, probably this week. And then also, as I was saying before, I was just doing a lot of messaging about how the Eden Fractal can work. And then I also set up the marketing channel too. And I just posted a bunch of ideas, both about kind of maybe opening up the Eden Fractal Twitter account to more collaboration, asking if anybody has any ideas about how to promote it, and then also about the website as well. So that was that. And thank you everybody for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Oops. And
great stuff.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Also, thank you very much for the shout out. I saw the video already. Really much appreciated.
Cool. Sounds good. Sorry, there's some technical issues and I didn't give you the great video that I was aiming to do it. But yeah, I'm super excited about Zeos and happy to support what you're doing in the future. And yeah, thanks everybody for the support and everything. And I suppose I'll pass it on to you, Joe, if nobody else has any more comments about that right now.
Hello again. As you know, we are the part of Marketing EOS, EOS Space. I'm a member of EOS Space. We are marketing and we are talking about EOS and Fractal. I'm starting to translate the Fractal white paper to Turkish to know people about Fractal, and also dance the more equal the books, you know it. I am translating it to know people what's it and what is the Fractal. In Avitis, we discussed with developers, softwares in a Telegram in Turkish group. They don't know about EOS and Fractal, and also they have a lot of bias Dan and its projects. So we are trying to telling the what is Dan doing, and also what is the Fractally. And I also invited them. I also invited them to join the Fractal meeting to know and what's it. So we are trying to persuade them, and they say a lot of different and bad things about EOS, because as you know, EOS has how do we say, lived a lot of bad things. So they say that EOS is not or hasn't been developing itself, and they are just tricking, and they are saying us to that you are Maxi, and we are saying that that's not right, because EOS has a lot great blockchain system, and has a lot of projects. Firstly, they discovered we are in the Turkish groups, and the people here they don't know a lot about blockchain and EOS. We are a lot of difficulties telling them, but still we are trying. So we will not stop. We will telling, and we will persuade them to join Fractal or also Eden also about EOS. Thank you for listening.
So you're translating the white paper.
Yes,
to
yes, go
Turkish, is
Fractal.
it?
Yes, yes. I'm start to translate Turkish. Go Fractal white paper, and also dance with the more equal animals. Because in here they don't know about Fractal, and also we have lots of information, especially blockchain systems. Just some people are telling us people, but they are just focusing on this unique situations. They don't know. They don't look on the EOS. So we are trying to common EOS about information about EOS.
And you're working with the EOSBs?
Yes, yes.
Which are you worker bee or queen bee for the hive?
I'm worker bee. I'm worker
okay.
bee.
Okay.
From the beginning,
Great.
we started.
Great stuff.
Sounds great. Thank you, Joe. Did you all see, by the way, the 10 minutes left remaining? I just want to make sure that. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Should we start? Does anybody have any other questions for you, Joe, or should we start with the consensus process now?
I would like to see your face, Yuzel.
I have problems with my computer because I have no camera. Sorry, I want to show, but
if you haven't bath or taken a shower, don't be afraid.
No.
Well, the thing is, the real thing is that I want to make sure that you are the same person that has been coming to all these meetings, and because it's part of the whole protocol, I think we need to respect the whole agreement we have.
Agree. And what is your Hive username? I can.
We're using EOS account names, by the way. Matthias, not
okay.
Not Hive.
Good to know.
Okay. So yeah, about the video with you, Joe, I would also appreciate the video too, and that just makes it, one, it helps protect the system, and then two, it just makes it more personal too. Like I think Joe is doing like really great work in general from what I can see, but it is a little bit difficult to, like, I don't know, just have that personal connection, and we do because we can hear each other, but it is like I would have a difficult time ranking you, Joe, above somebody else when other people are on camera at the same time. And you can see what other people are doing. So I don't know, that's just my personal opinion, but I think it is helpful both for the protection of the system, like Jorge was talking about, and then just in general, it's nice. So if you're able to get a camera at some point, Joe, that would be really cool to be able to see you. Although I have seen you, I think, on like on Eden and other places too. So to Jorge's question, I'm pretty sure that the Joe we're speaking with right now is the same Joe we've been speaking with and who's participated in Eden many times before.
Great.
Yeah, to me the voice sounds also similar. However, you mentioned that you're kind of onboarding people into Eden. So I think you need to set an example there by, if you introduce the system and introducing like the attack vectors and how you prevent them, then I think it's important that you set an example and show other people that you can come on camera. But I understand that currently your computer can't do it, but long term, I think that's something important. So
yeah, I also don't enjoy coming in camera. You know, I'll prefer.
No, I hate it.
So guys, let's get the consensus. So
yeah,
what do we think?
Yeah,
that's the most contribution this week.
Should we do it with the Zoom chat and type everybody's name at once and hit enter, or does anybody have a different method of proposing?
I like to propose that we do as the UI is currently designed, in which each of us orders privately the whole thing, and then we discuss each of the positions. Also, I think we have really big contributors today. I don't think it's really hard to rank them. Well, on the contrary, I think it's hard to rank them. So I'll suggest that we adopt, given that we have really high quality contributions today, that we adopt not self-ranking just for this meeting. And I was wondering if we are, after all, going to use the tool that Vlad designed.
Yes, we can use the tool, but I think we should use the tool after this room in the post room. Yeah, and for now we'll just come to consensus, and then once we're in the post room, then we'll enter it into Vlad's tool.
Agree.
Okay.
Okay. Does anybody have any thoughts about the self-ranking? I can go either way for that.
Since we are experiencing this Huawei suggestion, I will support that today. So we don't do self-ranking, but we do we pick, everybody has as you said, Dan, on the chart, put the person he thinks that contributed the most, and then we hit, and then we select it from there. The process is more fast, and everybody has chance to express his opinion, but not vote for ourselves. So I will support it.
Matthias, do you know this process? Basically, there's a countdown, 3, 2, 1. There's a countdown 3, 2, 1, and then on the 0, we all type in the name of the person that we assume would be, like, in that case, rank 6.
Okay.
But we don't choose ourselves, right?
Yeah, so we don't choose ourselves. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hardly do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Is everybody ready to rank number 6?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
Do we have consensus there? Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we do. Only 5 people voted. Okay, so we have consensus
No,
on me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it very much, and I'm happy to accept that. Thank you. Although I would also just say that it might be in our best interest to rank Matthias number 1. I mean, I think that this group should be generally to help EOS as one of the main goals, and Matthias is doing incredible work with Zeos for a long time, and I would love to reward Matthias as much as possible, and respect the white paper contribution, which he just released this week. So if you guys want to rank me number 6, then I'm happy to do that, but I think it might be for the best of the community to rank Matthias at number 6.
If I may respond to that real quick.
I'll support that also.
I would also vote you rank 6. I happily take number 5. Yeah, I appreciate your kind words, but I still believe that your contributions are way more valuable for this process, for the fractal democracy process. And yeah, I appreciate that, but I would still also happily take rank 5 and put you rank 6, because what you're doing is very valuable as well. Yeah, all the media stuff and all that.
Yeah, Matthias, I will support you, not of this week. And I think the work you have done to EOS for the last 1 year in terms of what you have done in Zeos have not been well respected. So I'm not ranking this week, but I'm ranking all your past contribution for the last 1 year or 2 years. So I will support Dance to put you to respect this contribution, rank 6. If you mind taking it, you deserve it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, yeah, I won't say no. Yeah, I'm just saying. I think Dan's contributions are very valuable as well. So I leave that up to you guys.
Am I right?
So are we ranking contributions to Eden or to EOS?
It's for both, I think, and perhaps we should have more focus on EOS than Eden. But I think for the growth of the community, we should really focus on supporting EOS builders like Matthias. I've already been ranked 6 in the past 3 weeks, so I appreciate it very much. But I think it's probably the best of the community.
Matthias, Dan did a really scary website. We need to penalize him for that.
That's a valid point. Well, but we wouldn't be here without Dan, but okay.
Yeah.
We need to.
We do need to hurry up because we only have 2 minutes left, and we wouldn't
Yeah,
be
we
here
that's
a
what
lot
I
more
mean.
people. But
That's what I mean.
should we just make a decision? I'm happy to be 6 if you want, but personally, I think that it should be Matthias. And
So
right
do
now,
I
Matthias
proceed?
says,
I don't
I'll go for
mind.
Matthias.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go
I would
again.
suggest we vote everyone, and in the end, like because we can already see that Matthias will be 5, and in the end, you can switch whether or not you switch Matthias to 6 or not. Dan.
okay, sounds
You
good.
know, I want to go through the process right now because
Sounds good.
You know,
Okay.
Okay.
okay. 3, 2, 1.
So we're going for
3.
number 4?
Yes.
No.
2.
Okay.
I think so,
Number
right?
4.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so Martin has 3 votes. He can't vote for himself, so he has 3 out of 4 total votes. So I believe that gives Martin number 4.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, should we move on to I'll send in a message, 2 minutes remaining, which gives us an extra minute. And then we'll move on to number 3 now.
Yeah. And then 1, 2, 3.
Wait, but we got only 2 minutes left. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, let's focus.
So,
Yes.
so Martin is already number 4?
Martin's number 4, yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks, guys, for the trust.
Yep.
Going
Of
for
course.
number 3.
Number 3. 3, is everybody ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
Looks like Jorge.
Jorge is the same as Immortal. So I guess I'm number 3 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was also tough because I would love to learn more about what you're both doing, but just for time concerns. And then number 2. Is everybody ready?
2,
Okay.
1.
Go. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
And you said Matthias can be number 2. Matthias is already top.
Yeah.
Huge job. Matthias is already selected.
Okay. It seems like there's an advantage for Pascal, and I can also change my vote for this to make it clear.
Okay.
And then we have you, Chell,
Yeah,
at
I
6.
see. Yeah.
Awesome. So we have the we have 1 through 4 now, and then we have like a very little time to decide on the last. So yeah, somebody have any thoughts about this? I think that it should be Matthias. I think it's just for the best of the community, and it's best to reward Matthias's work here.
You have to say, like, I think.
Okay, go for the final.
So do we agree on number 6? Who is he?
Well, I respect Dan's wish to rank Matthias above him for this time. So therefore, I think we can all agree on putting Matthias on 6, since Dan would be the 6, and then Sang like basically gives the I don't know, the rank to Matthias. So that's cool.
Okay.
Okay. Is that good with everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I will I'll hit the I'm sorry, what's that, Martin?
Is this correct? I
Yep.
just posted, I documented it this way.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna hit the close rooms button. Normally there's a 60-second countdown and then it will end. But last time that Josh did it just ended immediately, so it might just end immediately. But in either way, then thank you so much. It's been a great meeting, and thank you everybody so much.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Really appreciate that.
Hey guys, great meeting.
Close all rooms.
Good one.
Okay. Okay, we get 60
Okay,
seconds.
so we
Thank you. Okay.
So we post this now into the GUI, the React app.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
There is there is Martin Brower twice in the ranking from UCL.
Well, Martin did a really great job, so.
I wrote it wrongly.
Oh yeah, I have two times number 4 as well. That's my fuck up. I have 7 in total there.
Martin's ranked 7.
Yeah, no, I posted it. That's my problem. Sorry, that's my bad. Okay.
You've got to add a new attack vector now, Jorge.
Okay. Damn it.
Shit.
Okay.
Text.
Welcome back, everybody. Sorry that went a bit longer than expected. Hope everybody had a great time. And congratulations on the 4th Eden Fractal meeting.
Whoops, I was talking. If I could jump in really quick, everybody put your decisions in the chat, and I'm going to get that whitelist built right now. We can get those distributed. Thank you. Thank you. So what does the output of that app look like, Vlad?
Output is a table on the chain.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'll try to.
There's no next page to it or anything right here, right now.
Not right now, yeah. The next feature could be that it would show rankings of each group, and then the admins could just easily from there see whether there is consensus, and if there is, then through that UI just easily distribute the Eden and EOS.
If there's a typo in one of the accounts, does it give you an automatic error?
Yes.
Or yes?
Yep.
Awesome. Love it. Love it.
It's been tested. Ask Chuck.
Yeah.
I just checked on the transaction in the blockchain. It looks amazing. It looks super clean.
So there was one group with only 5. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe that's correct.
Okay, yeah. Great, cool.
Has everyone posted their consensus in the Zoom chat as well as Vlad's app?
Yeah, for group 2. Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, being that it's the first time that we're testing this app, I think it's good to post it in both the Zoom chat and also the app that Vlad built. So we make sure in case there's any issues either way, then we'll have consensus results. We're doing the same thing as we're doing last time, where we're also recording the screen along with the chat on the side so that we'll have consensus results verified and redundant there. And if anybody would like to save the chat log and or record the chat, then that would also be helpful to increase the redundancy of consensus as well. I don't know what group numbers we did. Is that field necessary? I imagine that's a necessary field, right, Vlad? But I don't even remember, and I was the one who did it. But if we don't know what group number it is, then what happens then, Vlad?
Mm. Then you would need to check from the chat. Yeah, but the transaction will not go through if there is no group number.
Okay. Well, I mean, worst comes to worst, we could just put like, I think I was in group 2, but I'm not sure. So I could just put group 2. And then if I wasn't, then it's still kind of manually done after it's entered into the blockchain. So then we could just, whoever is being the admin, whether it's me or you or Felix or whoever, can just figure that out then, right? Okay.
I have a question. I just realized that I kind of messed it up when putting the group number. I put 11 instead of 1. Do I need to do it again?
It won't let you, but yeah.
All right, do it again.
Oscar, I think that Vlad said it won't let you do it again.
Oh, okay. Well, I made 1, not 11.
Okay. I hope you had a great time over there in group 11.
Can anybody please post the link to the app again in the chat?
Yeah, let me get it down.
That is the, I just posted the whitelist for the NFT drop. And if you don't see your name on there, please speak up now because I'm putting that on right now.
So it would be great if instead of having to type the names, the addresses of our mates, we could just choose from a drop-down menu.
Yeah. To avoid mistake to type. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that would be great.
A drop-down list with selection blue, that we cannot type anything in what is existing into the drop-down.
Is that something that's somewhat possible, Vlad, or is that a very difficult thing to engineer?
No, it's not difficult to do a drop-down list. Very easy.
I mean, if the drop-down list is fixed, then it's easy. But since there are every week different individuals, then
everybody would have to check into the room first. You'd all have to check into the room, establish who's in the list, and then the drop-down could be there for the voting.
Yep.
But the tool is very fine. Good.
Yeah,
super clean, sleek. I love it.
Thank you, Vlad, for that.
Vlad, might I ask, I know we tried it over Fractally and similar and stuff. Have you had any more talks with the team over there? Are they interested, or how does it feel? It's a slick one. You made good work, good progress.
I've been interacting only with James.
Oh, okay.
And they are building their stuff. I haven't seen their UI, anything. Just James laid the fundament for the smart contracts, and yeah, I've added 2 functions and this content.
It's a great app. This one makes it a heck of a lot easier. Congrats.
I worked with Dan in a breakout room, and he mentioned that in Eden Fractal, in the Eden Fractal, they were using an on-chain tool. I don't know if he meant this one, but he said that it was very, very good, and that was the way it was supposed to be. But that's all he said.
So Pascal and Dan, we were actually in room number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, that's what I put.
Hey, Dan, is Dan your actual EOS name?
Yes. Yep, that's correct.
Wow.
It's already on chain, so on the blockchain.
Good bidding.
Everybody
Dan was the first Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, or at least there were other Dans, but nobody decided to pay an EOS to bid on the Dan account name before this
That's
one.
some privilege on chain, I think.
It saves me over time many keyboard strokes and keeps my fingers very light, and I hope it does for everybody else too.
Very easy to send you money, Dan.
Yes. I was optimizing for this.
Yeah.
Unlike Jay Taylor, who has an account it's impossible to remember.
Yeah. And Jay said a few times that he's going to get an account that's easy to remember, so that will make it well, that'll make it easier, and I'll certainly appreciate that. I know when I was trying to do the counting and to make sure that we got all the rankings last week correctly before we put on chain, I got pretty confused by Jay's name, and also there's also a spelling error at some point there too. So
how much does it cost to get a custom name?
Well, you can get like a custom name from just j.gm with gray mass for $1 or $2. And then you could also do Vlad has Vladislav.x, which you can get on, I think, EOS name service for 5 EOS or 10 EOS, something like that. And then I got my actual bidding, and it costed me 70 EOS or 80 euros. But just to get a j.gm, which is much easier to read, that's just $1 or $2, I think.
Okay. I'll work on that.
Okay, so nobody caught my typo. I put Dan in here twice and we had 18 members, but that probably wouldn't have mattered anything for the whitelist, but I'm going to submit it again.
Does that mean I would have gotten 2 NFTs?
Easy.
No. No, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, Martin was trying to game the system before by putting himself at both rank 3 and 4. So we're seeing all the ways that people are trying to get the extra respect now.
I got caught. My really vicious attack. My sneaky ninja attack.
Guys, we saved Eden Fractal from Martin.
Did anybody check that the current app we are signing it is not changing our permissions?
There's another attack from Vlad, it looks like.
There is a backdoor.
Yeah, that is smiling a bit too much.
Question.
Smiling a bit too much right now.
I'm checking on, I'm checking on
backdoor,
chain. Yeah.
I think.
Why do all my votes say Vladislav.x? I'm just joking.
All right, everybody, claim your NFTs. See if it works.
Okay, sweet. That's exciting.
And they're showing up directly in our account already?
Hey guys, sorry, did anybody
Oh,
did the checking?
Claim it. You have
Okay.
5 days to claim it.
And you put it in the chat, Zoom chat link?
Yep.
The claim. Okay.
I got mine.
That's awesome. Thanks so much,
Okay.
Chuck and Martin, for doing that. I'll be following your lead. I'm just doing it manually for our other Fractal group in Alien Worlds. But I'm paying attention to the channel, and I really like the claim link. I have a So good job. Thanks for setting
Thanks,
the
man.
pace.
Are
job.
you on the
Go
NFT
ahead, mine.
working group on Telegram,
Yeah.
Dwayne?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you betcha.
okay,
I've been
so
watching.
we'll drop the document in there on how everything's done.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and I'm happy to help you if you want to start just distributing them like them, and the document is a little bit too complicated. I'm happy to hold some hands for the first time.
Sure.
And
really
then afterwards
appreciate
it goes like a charm, easy.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll probably take you up on that. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And Vlad, if you want to look at that, the output there, what I just pasted in the Zoom meeting, that's what's got to go in the whitelist. If there's any way that you could construct that with your app, that would be really appreciated.
Yeah, I'd be very interested to see the future of that integration with what Vlad's building and the NFT tooling that Chuck and the Eden NFT group is building.
Should be really straightforward. And then we can manually build the drop for now, and then down the road we can have drops almost automatic.
Yeah, and
But
then
guys, I can confirm I got mine.
Awesome.
It works. Congratulations, Chief. Very nice. It works.
Cool.
Yes, same here.
I was also going to say, like, Chuck, you're talking about like productizing the Eden process with Eden election, and like after going to the Alien Worlds Fractal that Dwayne set up this week, it got me thinking a lot about like how we could expand with this Eden Fractal process with Alien Worlds and all sorts of different fractals and DAOs like that. And if we're able to build tooling that like it works really well for us to do both the distribution, or well, distribution comes later, but like the on-chain consensus, and then integrate that with the NFTs, like we could make some really cool things for Alien Worlds and all kinds of cool communities, and like lots of games and stuff too.
Yeah, I kind of did a shameless plug, but it was relevant to the gamification of NFTs that one of the longer standing members in the EOS community, Extra's father was the Liberty Dollar person. So he's been in gold and silver for 50 years. But this Friday, they have an LD2 coin that's backed with physical silver in Sunshine Vault. It's a warehouse receipt. But now they're using that token to back an NFT. So this Friday, they have a limited edition of a very limited coin. But the point is just thinking of, how to build up that, doing, say, even blends of participation NFTs to slowly build up to get something backed by silver is exciting. I have a lot of ideas on how to do this, but I'm not the expert. So I mention that here because a lot of you have done a lot of this, Martin and the rest of you, just thinking that would be just a really cool way to start putting something that's backed by something as a value to our participation. So yeah, just exploring how to do that. And I'm starting by different groups like Crown and then Alien Worlds. I put in a grant to fund a pool for prizes. So how those could slowly build up to then get something backed by silver. So just a new dynamic that if we could set the pace before Fractally comes out to start establishing some value, and it's all contingent on other groups to be funding this pool for participation. But just thought it's a new way, besides a stable coin to back it. And so yeah, I'll drop a link here if anyone's interested. And just a full transparency, I'm just excited to put my hat in the ring to say, hey, Extra, I'd like to, if you have a tool after you do your own NFTs, that I'd like to back some of our participation NFTs with silver. So I'm not getting a cut, or I'm not part of his group or anything. I'm just excited about the project.
That's awesome. Next week, I'm going to back these with EOS.
Oh,
and
nice.
We'll do the same thing. We'll just see how it goes and, get them valuable.
Cool. Sounds great. Yeah, thank you for sharing, Dwayne. And then Chuck, I'm curious, but back with EOS, do you have plans about how you're going to do that? Like, is it going to just be a standard amount for all people? Or I know we also mentioned backing it according to the Fibonacci algorithm too. Do you have any thoughts or plans about that yet?
You're getting a little excited now, Dan.
Okay.
Yeah. That will be the ultimate.
Yeah.
But then Martin and I were talking about it last night. We'd probably have to have like 6 different NFTs with 6 different whitelists if we were going to back it in ranking like that. But that's my ideal, is to have like 6 different colored NFTs, for example, and like you get the red one, you're rank 1 or 6 or whatever. That would be fantastic. And if they were all backed across the range, then it would all be the same story.
The thing is, like, you wouldn't need 6 different NFTs. You would need to set up 6 different drops, and then 6 different, like, it could be the same template but 6 different drops.
Yeah. And
6 different whitelists. So that's kind of the hurdle there, but the NFT can be the same.
Yeah. I'm
the
thinking
template,
also
the template.
The amount of EOS distributed, like if instead of distributing liquid EOS the way we're doing right now here, if it was all distributed in backed NFTs, that amount will be variable from week to week. And you could have like 6 different colors of a standard shape, like that shape. And that would be your ranking for the week. But then each one would be differently valued each week in EOS, depending on how many people showed up to the event, maybe, or whatever. So you could have all sorts of variables in there. But a 6 is a 6, but it might be worth a different amount of EOS. And then you could have sort of different staking possibilities down the road too. Like a 6 might be a better multiplier on the amount of EOS that's in the token. But yeah,
interesting.
We're looking to distribute anything we can think of, we can build, right? So it would be awesome to distribute based on the rankings themselves, Dan. Yeah.
Cool.
Another thing that you can start thinking about is blends. Let's say somebody participated all the Eden fractals, like basically all of them of one legislation period, for example, or all of the fractals in 1 month or 6 months or whatever you want, 3 months, and then you blend them all together to have like this seasonal batch, or have like something like that's higher rewarding. Because right now, like if you're thinking about like having this for all the Eden events and different fractals, then you accumulate a lot of NFTs, and maybe you want to just upgrade to like a larger one. These kind of things we can think about. Blends can also be backed, right?
Yeah, and then it's interesting you said that, because I was asking, without being a techie, saying, when I burn my NFT, I get the tokens that are back. That's simple. But if I use an outside blending service, I really want to be confident where those tokens go when you blend. So the silver guys had one answer saying, well, if it's blending, maybe you're giving up your tokens and it's going back to the author, because in you're blending for an NFT that has a whole bunch more tokens in it. So just some interesting dynamics to think there, if there's going to be a difference between burning and receiving the tokens, and then blending, your tokens leave you. So, and that might be depending on which blending service you use. So yeah, it's interesting things to think about.
Yeah, and if you really want to put value on these things, like let's say the LD2 coin, the pool that basically any blend would pull from, right? You would need to make sure that nobody has permission to this anymore. That's basically like a DAT account where anytime you generate an NFT or generate one of those, nobody can drain this pool. That's only basically drawing from there. That's something to consider.
Has everybody confirmed that at least 4 to 6 people in the group posted consensus? I was starting to do that, but it might be helpful just to make sure each group makes sure that they have 4 to 6, so that in case anybody forgot, then we don't have any awkward situations where there's only 3 out of 6, something like that.
Just posting in the chat count.
Yeah, I think for this week, just posting in the chat is fine if you're not able to post in the EOS app, Jay.
Yeah, I'm still working on getting into the EOS app.
Okay. Are you having issues with the EOS app itself, or just like wallet issues, or?
Yeah, yeah, I guess you would call it wallet issues. It's I just keep hitting an error, and I'm not sure why, because I'm on a cell phone and I automatically log into Anchor. So I hit sign, and then it just doesn't let me through on the application. So I think I may have miskeyed something on the first attempt, and then maybe I was blocked for some reason. So I'll try it again next week, and we'll see. It should work fine for next week.
Does it say you what's the error?
Yeah, let me try it again.
I would also be curious. I mean, if anybody has anything to share, anything would be helpful to share, then I'd be curious to hear it. But I'd also be curious specifically. I know it's Matthias's first time here, and I think it's also Oscar's first time here too. So if you guys had any thoughts about first Eden Fractal and what you thought of the experience and how when things could be, how it could be different or anything like that, or any ideas you have. I'd love to hear it.
Well, I noticed things are different from the main fractal, of course, but I really like the simplicity of the process in this case. The use of this tool. I don't know if it's the first time that you're using the tool, but from my point of view, it's the first time I come here and we have this tool which facilitates the process a lot, because it's a lot simpler than creating a Hive account and then having resources from Hive in order to post the consensus and everything. That's a complicated part into joining Fractally at the moment. But in this case, and well, since we're all already on EOS, it's a lot easier to overcome this part and make the consensus, the registration of the consensus a lot easier. So far, I'm loving it. Like I told the guys, that this week I have been in different topics regarding Eden. I have to say that maybe that's a distinction it's valid to point out that I focus on, in here I'm focusing on contributions related to Eden. So in my case, I'm mentioning that in regards to Eden, I've been here and here and here, but of course I've been doing different things around. But you know, I'm just keeping the focus on that area, and that's it. But yeah, and the claiming of the NFTs, amazing. Thank you, Chuck, for that again. I was with Chuck. I was in the Eden Town Hall last Sunday, and I had the opportunity to be there talking with some of the other members in here, and Chuck was there talking to us about the proposed new bylaws that are being proposed by them, and so far I'm loving it. I like everything in here. I wish I could have joined before, but time.
So just to update, it just says time ago. Sorry to jump in for Vlad. It just says time ago is read only. That's the error message. And but like I say, I'm on my cell phone, so it could have to do with reading my fingerprint. So I'll use my desktop next week or laptop.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Thanks, Jay, for sharing that technical feedback, and thank you very much, Oscar, for sharing your experience and then all of the great words. And thanks for joining. Of course, it's great to see you. You do amazing work, so thank you so much. Matthias, would you like to share anything about your experience with the Eden Fractal so far, or?
Well, so far I'm just happy to be here finally. Also in the main Eden, in the main Fractal. So I'm following this for quite a while already, and I'm super excited about it. I think fractal democracy has huge potential. Not so much feedback at this point, but maybe in the future. So just happy to participate.
Okay, sounds great. What's that, Jorge?
Yeah, I'd like to show you guys the post I did this week. I just sent it to the chat. It's my 5th post that I created in Hive. I've been, as you know, been analyzing this whole fractal democracy protocol in as much depth as I can. And this week I studied possible vector attacks on the whole protocol. So I analyzed 3 of them, one of them being noise, the other one being data. We are producing huge amounts of data in these video recordings. And the other one being competition between different communities. So I want to tell you guys that I intend to take all this research that I've done and simulate it, and I'd like to propose my candidature, is that the word? To propose myself as a candidate for Eden elections in order to get funding for doing these simulations.
Cool. Sounds great, Jorge. I was also just gonna bring it back to just Matthias and say thank you so much, Matthias, for joining us and then sharing your thoughts. If anybody's not familiar, Matthias is also building Zeos, which enables private transactions on EOS and like a private DeFi ecosystem, which is really awesome. So yeah, thank you so much. And then Jorge, thank you for sharing that. And then also, I guess, kind of relates to what Felix was saying too, which might be an interesting topic to discuss about how Felix was saying something along the lines of how, and also I think Martin was saying how, like, because the Eden election's coming up in a few weeks and there's an opportunity to raise funding to help with fractal governance and with Eden Fractal. So if I heard you correctly, Jorge, you were saying that you're planning to run as a candidate in the Eden election to raise funding for the simulations to, I suppose, better understand the risks and potentials of fractal democracy and so forth, and then others can also use funding for different methods and help Eden Fractal and Fractally in other ways.
Right. I'd like to not only assess risk, but actually try to predict how the whole thing is going to evolve under different parameters. If you look at my first post, I analyzed the effect of sincerity in these meetings, and to each individual, I assign it a value of sincerity between 0 and 1. So this gives us a probability distribution of sincerity, which we can input in a simulation. And we can, for example, do things like having two simulated fractals with different levels of sincerity or knowledge or expertise, and ask them to compete. I like to aim to perform those simulations so we could solve the problem that Felix was mentioning during the last several weeks of how do we prioritize. Maybe having some simulations could help us in setting long-term directions.
Okay, cool. Does anybody have any thoughts about that? I'm a little bit confused about it, Jorge, personally.
One thing to factor in to all of these models, Jorge, is the reward at the end of the process, and we're going to get more incentive to game it depending on the quality of the reward at the end of it. Right now, pardon me, we might not be seeing. I mean, you're aware of this, but we aren't seeing all of the potential attacks actually happening because the rewards are low. And in the case of Fractally, they're like negligible or zero, or I mean more potential. In the Eden process itself, the elections are higher stakes, and you'll see more of a you can model out more of an impact when people collude. So you think about ways that people would be colluding and how they would share the reward at the end of it, and think about that, and then think about what the motivations for running would be, and how somebody would get elected using trying to game the model. And there's all sorts of things to think about when you fresh faces coming in and saying that they want to be a part of the Eden process and they're running for election, and it's like, who are you? What are you doing? Who are you connected with? Who are your connections? Who are you working with? And it's difficult. So much of it is reputation based, and so much of it is establishing a presence in the community before the election. Just showing up on day one is not usually a recipe for success, but it's really important, especially as the stakes increase, that people think about motivations for these events, because the prizes or the outcome, the payments for the delegates, especially as EOS becomes more valuable, are going to be pretty significant.
Yeah, I totally agree. To be clear, I don't intend to be chief delegate. I wouldn't know what to do. What I intend is to have a website to answer Dan's question, to have a website in which any member of the community can set the parameters he wants. For example, I want this fractal to have a 80% level of sincerity, a 50% level of knowledge, a 40% level of intellectual power or computational power. I want this fractal to have this number of people, and this fractal to have this other set of parameters, and then run it for, let's say, a given number of meetings, for example, 100 meetings, and see which members got the highest reputation, the highest levels of respect. That's what I would like to do as a first toy project. I don't know if that answers your questions, Dan.
That clarifies it. Yes, thank you, Jorge. And yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm not sure like how you could quantify like things like sincerity and knowledge and so forth. So I'm interested to learn more. I think that I've read most of your articles, but I haven't read all of it, and I've been meaning to read it more in detail. I know that I think Tadas maybe or somebody was mentioning about sincerity being difficult to judge, and I know that Dan Larimer also shared a response to one of your recent articles as well that I haven't had a chance to read, but I'm looking forward to it. And it sounds like a very interesting research. It sounds like a very interesting thing to explore, and I'm looking forward to playing around with it, and I hope you raise funding to do it. Although I'm not sure exactly how you would do a lot of the details, like ranking sincerity and so forth.
In the first post, which is called Towards a Statistical Simulation of Fractal Democracy, you can find it on my Hive blog. It's pretty detailed how you can measure knowledge, computational power, and sincerity. You don't assign a number to it, to the whole community. You assign a probability distribution. So this percentage of members will have this level of sincerity. This percentage of members will have this other level of sincerity. And you can infer those probability distributions from scientific literature. And so that's the way I'll think attacking it.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Thank you very much, Jorge. If anybody has any thoughts about that, that would be cool to hear. But then also,
yeah.
Oh, what's that, Jorge?
Yeah, I'd like to know if this conversation is being recorded, because I'd like to go again through Chuck's comments, which I think were very valid.
Yes, it's being recorded at least by me and maybe by other people, and there'll be a recording posted in the Discord channel, the Eden Discord. Felix set up a channel called Eden Fractal Meetings, where I've been posting, and Patrick and some others have been posting their fractal meeting. So it'll be there, and I would encourage everybody to post their recordings there as well, so that we have kind of a catalog of all of the stuff that we've been doing here.
Great.
I'd also like to open it up to, I think it's great like to talk about Jorge's proposal and to go like more in depth like we have been, but there's a lot of people who have been doing like great work in the community too. So well, I'll be here for 20 more minutes if anybody else would like to share anything, or of course everybody can stick around after. But it might be helpful to talk about what Felix talked about Felix and Martin were talking about kind of coordinating as a community perhaps, and raising funding to help fund this group at the Eden. at the Eden election coming up in 2 weeks. In addition to Jorge's project, we could also fund potentially the prize pool or fund Vlad's development of these tools, or potentially fund the Eden NFTs working group development of tools. So there's lots of exciting topics we can discuss. Also, just as a couple brief updates, Felix started up a developers channel in the Eden Discord a couple days ago, and there's been lots of interesting discussions between Vlad and James, and Tadas was posting there, and Jorge and me posted a bit there too. So if you haven't checked that out, I'd check that out. I also posted a bit about, or yesterday night, I also made a marketing channel as well, which I kind of shared a lot there. Hopefully it's not too much at once, but there's a lot of thoughts that I had about managing the Eden Fractal Twitter account and Eden Fractal website. I was speaking with Pascal a bit about updating the website for Eden Fractal. So these are things that would be very helpful to have a better website and to have and to be more coordinated with our tools and promotional strategy and stuff like that. So I'm happy to talk about whatever wants to talk about. I just figured that I'd provide an overview of some topics that might be interesting to discuss while we're here to help the Eden Fractal grow. And also another thing that might be cool is just cool. Thanks to you, Pascal. Maybe we should reach out, or maybe we should discuss it now or later or whatever about the website. Thank you very much. And also, if anyone wants to just share like experience with their room too, if you had a good time and stuff, that might be a cool thing to discuss as well.
Well, my group experience was awesome, guys. To all of you, thank you.
Thank you, Jorge. And likewise, I agree. The group that we were in was really fun and helpful. It seems like a much quieter time than last time. I remember last time there was, I think, like 3 or 4 people who had their hands raised up, and people were like speaking over each other, and everybody's just like chilling.
You gotta have some time to recover too, you know, once in a while.
Right.
I think July 9 is approaching. It's for that we are also a little bit quiet.
Should we coordinate as a group to accomplish anything before July 9th, and coordinate to raise more funding from the Eden election, or to specifically improve our tooling or our website and social media or anything like that before July 9th? Is there anything that we should coordinate as a group?
Yeah, I think we should really commit ourselves to support this fractal within the Eden community.
Mm-hmm. We have to advocating for Eden Fractal during the next election. I said that into my room with Chuck and Bishop. We agreed that if we go to the next election, as we are into this Eden Fractal, that's this catalyst for more collaboration, natural collaboration. I see that very as the interface between Eden Onios, the chief delegates, board member, and us, the community. And we have to advocate that we need more collaboration. So we go there for that with a good common, let's say, common message, that we go there to see Eden Fractal evolving and have more multiple fractal, maybe focus oriented on a subject, and that will grow. Yeah, very positive.
I think we need more emphasis on using this a process. It's not just this thing. It's not this group showing up Wednesdays. It's the process.
The process.
Eden members and Eden delegates all getting together and hashing stuff out on a regular basis. And we can have more focused discussions. We could have a discussion like this, like answering a question, like we've said before, like these fractal forums. Now, Dan, we've got the bones now to put a fractal forum together, and we can execute that easily. Yeah. We just say everybody's invited to this event. We're going to ask a question, and we're going to break out into rooms and answer that question, and then we're going to elect speakers from each room to answer that question. And then you're going to end up with, right now we would have 3 people, our number 6s, coming together to answer that question and say diagnose a solution to a problem that Eden or EOS is facing, or the world. Like we were saying, you could get a whole bunch of experts together, you could get a whole bunch of doctors together, you can get politicians, you can get any specialists together to answer a critical question. And we've got it right now. We can reward them with money. Imagine if we got 10 grand together, $10,000, 10,000 EOS right now, to put on an event, and then paid a bunch of professionals to answer a question and had a really good conversation, and then filmed that conversation. That's where we're going with this.
Yep.
Nothing wrong.
That is very exciting, Chuck, and I agree. I was thinking with the Fractal forums, it might make sense to try doing that on a Sunday, like right after the Eden town halls, because we have like generally over 10 people who are participating every week there. And because I think that we might want to keep this meeting simple with just contributions to avoid, jumping around between 2 different things all the time. And just keep it consistent. But then
I don't think we'd want a regular Fractal forum. It would be an event, like maybe a monthly thing or something. If we scheduled one for like 3 weeks or a month in the future from now, we could get a really good shape to something.
Yeah, and that might actually be a good idea to schedule it sooner rather than later, being that there's lots of discussion going on with the chief delegates and like the Eden member service proposal and stuff like that. We've been having very interesting discussions at the Eden town halls, which I'd encourage everybody to join and participate at. We were speaking with Chuck, and also Michael O'Sullivan was there 2 weeks ago, and Eve was listening 2 weeks ago as well as Oscar and Jay and a bunch of other great community members. So they're great discussions, and we've been having a lot of discussions about like what the next steps of Eden are. So it might be helpful to do that. I agree. Like we wouldn't want to do it every week right now. I don't think we have the capacity for that. I think eventually, like every week would be cool, but maybe we just do one and even try to schedule in the next like couple of weeks to coincide with the new election. That might be cool. And I see Pascal also has his hands raised too.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. I just want to mention that I mentioned this point like 3 weeks ago about how, as an Eden members, we are running 2 consensus. We have the Eden run the proof of proof of promise. The first group is running proof of promise because in those elections we present our project and then members would elect us. That's how we elect our delegates. Now in the Eden Fractal, it's proof of contribution. So we are running 2 consensus in the same group. So one of the issues that I would like us to discuss as a group is do we adopt these 2 consensus and then run with it in parallel, or should the chief delegate at some point merge this consensus into one, to not only so that we don't have like this confusion of election every 3 weeks versus consensus every week. I'm having like challenge into see how we move forward from there. Maybe we don't have an answer now, but I just want us to be aware that we are running 2 consensus in Eden now. This is my point. So what do you think, Chad, as a chief delegate?
Yeah, the more we can run it, the better. The more we will hone this consensus. And I think we need to. It would be really great to have an MSIG built through our process, so that through the we have an on-chain answer. Like we have a question posed, and then we can have an on-chain answer to these questions. Like the delegates right now, there's, other than the delegates right now, the elected delegates getting 100 EOS a month, there's not much formally sort of expected of them. But if they were more of like the bones of the democratic process, if they were relaying more information from members, if they were like a collector sort of that collected data, and then they could send it up through their MSIG process, we could put stuff on chain that would reflect where the consensus was moving in among the membership. I hesitate to use the word organization so much because at that point it's more of a, we're getting more into the decentralization aspect of it when we go down the hierarchy towards the delegates and the members. And I think we need to concentrate more in that direction. Right now, the chief delegates have been acting at an organizational level out of necessity, like it's needed to do some of these things so that the decentralization can occur. And we need to really push down the hierarchy more towards the decentralization and really scope out what the membership thinks. And that means more polls, more everything, but it can be done on chain using our members' permission, our members' signatures to sign off and actually say what they believe on something instead of the haphazard way that we do, you know, oh, I heard such and such from the Telegram chat the other day, therefore we need to do this. No, we need to have like firm, simple questions of people and then have them answer on chain so that we can collect more data and just do that more and more and more and more, you know, like
So
you can't just ask one question for like a 3-month term and say, hey, oh, you answered, you know. But if we asked more often, if we had a question a week, for example, that everybody answers on chain, that would be cool. And then, you know, Jorge would give you the data that you're looking for. It would just give you more stuff to work with. We could model out more questions. We could get better questions going.
Okay, great, thanks.
Felix is saying that he's got to head off, but great work, everybody. He's looking forward to coming soon around this fractal and the Eden election coming. Cool. So thank you, Felix, for joining. It's all good that you couldn't be as engaged, but yeah, thanks for sharing your thoughts and looking forward to that content very much. And yeah, I'm also excited to make content to help support the Eden Fractal as well, for sure.
I just want to, sorry.
No, please, Patrick, you go first.
Thank you, Jorge. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Something I want to advocate here. It's about the money. What I mean, that's my opinion. The money is a compensation mechanism, but each member has to come with a good proposal to be compensated. So because if we say, okay, there is money on the table, the people can say, oh, now I will do something because there is money, and that's become the incentivizing mechanism. But indeed, to do something, money should not be the incentivizing mechanism. Money is just the compensation mechanism, and to elect what are the good ideas. We are discussing in a room and we elect the proposals, and we decide by reaching consensus. And then when we have reaching consensus, we put that on chain as a result of the discussion of the consensus. Because if we are just discussing blah, 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 it's a lot of noise. And if it is not on chain at the end, that makes no sense. All what we have discussed is for nothing. So that has to go on chain. Every decision, every action. So with Eden Fractal, we have a good MSIG structure and multi-signature, and that's very proof for the Eden Fractal smart contract. And I see that very well from the beginning, well crafted, because we are learning. That's good. And to finish, Eden on EOS, I think they can use the Eden Fractal process that we are in to gather more data for the chief Eden delegates, as Chuck said before, to then take the best leader, to be the best leaders. Because you are electing leader in Eden on EOS, it's a fractal governance process, political playoffs. Fractal governance process in this sense, to elect leaders, people, not IDs, the people to lead, and we trust them. So the chief delegates have to gather some data, and to gather those data, they can go through our Eden Fractal process. So I think the pieces are connecting well with Eden Fractal. Voilà, just what I want to state.
Well, sounds great. Thank you, Patrick. So I'm gonna have to go in like 5 minutes, but I encourage everybody who wants to stick around. And I'd like to know who would like to be host when I leave, who's planning to stick around. Is there anybody who would like to be the new host of the meeting?
I can take over if you like.
Okay,
no problem.
Sounds great. Thank you very much, Charles. And then also before I'll go in like 3 minutes, but I just want to say this first in case I don't get a chance, in case somebody else starts speaking. So one, thank you all so much for joining the Eden Fractal. This is super exciting and it's awesome. This is our 4th week. We've been doing it for a month now, and I don't know, we haven't talked about so much about like the future possibilities, but it's like super exciting what we can do with this, having our DAO with Eden and so forth. Patrick is excited, he knows. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody. This is super exciting. I'm thrilled for what we're doing here, and next meeting too. So we're meeting every Wednesday at 13 UTC. So I'd love to see you all again then. And then also I mentioned the Eden Town Hall on Sundays at 16 UTC. That's a great place to discuss Eden and the upcoming Eden election. And we could also discuss some stuff about Eden Fractal there too. So it'd be great to see people there. And then also the Fractally process too. The Fractally Genesis group meets on every Saturday at 16 UTC, and I would encourage everybody to join there. You know, Dan Larimer started the Fractally group, which we're very much learning from. And Dan mentioned that he would love to see people coming from the Eden Fractal and other groups to the Genesis Fractal. So it's a great learning experience that we can, one, it's just an amazing time. You get to meet people and earn the Genesis Fractal respect, and it's an amazing time. And then you can also, we can also learn things that we can integrate here in the Eden Fractal, which would be really helpful. And then also Dwayne's Fractal, or not really Dwayne's Fractal, the Alien Worlds Fractal that Dwayne started every Thursday at 16 UTC. I would also encourage everybody to check that out too and join there, because the more that we can learn and build networks with fractals and stuff and meet people, then I think that'll all be really helpful for us, what we're doing with Eden Fractal and EOS and Eden. So yeah, thanks so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. And this was a really fun meeting.
Thanks, Dan.
Good job, guys. Great.
Thank you, Dan. Enjoy.
Thanks.
Thank you, Felix.
Thanks,
Thank you all, guys.
Thank you, everyone, and have a great
everyone.
Thank you. I'm also going to make Charles the host right now, by the way. So if other people want to say, then of course, feel free.
And 3, 2, 1, 0. Go Eden Fractal.
Go Eden Fractal.
Fractal.
Go Eden Fractal and EOS and everything.
210 go EOS, 3210 go Fractali, etc.
And welcome, sales.
And welcome
Zeos. And welcome Zeos. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Bienvenido to EOS. That was a moment. Awesome. Amazing. So then you can go sleep, I think.
I'm not going to sleep. I have another meeting for doing hot sauce stuff now. So
you make a hot sauce? Spicy?
I'm gonna go make the hot sauce. I'm gonna go get some chili peppers and grind them up. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. Chuck is a good designer. Fantastic NFTs he do.
That he is. When I first got into the EOS community about a year ago, I saw messages from someone named Chuck on the Telegrams, and I'm saying him share the blend files for this simple hexagon. And I'm also a creative designer. I use Blender for my work, and felt great to have someone sharing also blend files for everyone to use. I just saw instantly how much I loved this community. Already people sharing their simple things like that. Yeah.
Please record the meeting. Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
not me.
I can't say it enough how important Blender is. Like everybody's got to learn Blender, and it's such a massive community.
Yeah.
And it's going to blend into EOS so well. I could see EOS integrations all through the application, and you know, I mean, they sell plugins, right? And they have all these different marketplaces for plugins, and they're all over the place. But if you had tokenized plugins, it would be so slick. It would be so simple. You know, you just have an NFT that says you paid for this plugin, and it just sits there, and it's simple. It solves everything.
Well, it's a good intuition. I haven't thought about that. Absolutely, it'd be great.
Voilà.
I've been a big
Collaboration
user
is
of-
born.
Yeah.
See you guys. Thanks again.
Yeah, see you,
And
Dan.
if somebody can record, I'd very much appreciate it.
sure.
Check a message. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. See you.
I'll take
Thank
over.
you, Dan. See you.
Cool.
Hey,
Thanks.
Dan.
Bye. Thank
See
you.
you. Thanks. Right, launching a new recording just in case.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you.
Yeah, Blender is pretty much the epitome of open source creation. Like everything, it's a hardcore open source community, one of the oldest.
Absolutely.
And like if you need anything accomplished, they've got monsters that can just build it in no time for you. I'm talking about the code, not necessarily 3D worlds, but if you want stuff built in 3D, it's just ridiculous. Some of the sci-fi stuff right now, I use a guy called Chip Walters, and I'm gonna link to him here. chipwalters.com, and his plugins, it's what I'm using for most of my. It's just really, really, really slick. But he's into this. He's into AI art now with Blender, and he's into sci-fi stuff, and it just looks so slick. Check out his YouTube videos.
Chip Walters.
Yeah, he's a really, really good developer and designer. And
yeah.
He's hooked up with some plugin developers that are just
beautiful.
amazing.
Okay, well, thanks.
Yeah, so all these are all components that you can really, you know, KitOps there, you can build objects or labels or anything, and then just drop them onto any creation. Just watch these different plugins. Have you heard of this guy, Bishop?
No, I haven't. I know almost everyone in the Blender community. I've been for 3 years now.
Yeah,
I dropped in 3 years ago. I started to learn it all by myself, and now I'm a full 3D artist for content creation. And I've been a big fan of my life for open source software. So when I got in from all After Effects and all the tools that I used for content creation across my master's degree in communication and creation, well, I jumped on it as soon as I got, and I started learning all by myself. And yeah, it's a great community. Each time I have a problem, there's an amazing amount of people ready to help me.
Yeah, and like you can, if you don't have a video editor, Blender is a video editor.
Absolutely,
you can do
works
everything Blender, and it works very well, and it's only getting better. Like people make movies in Blender. You know, they've always been making movies in Blender, but now they make movies in Blender using Blender's video editor and compositor, and like everything done front to back with Blender, and it's so powerful and all free and all really well supported, and it's exactly what EOS wants to be. EOS is the home for open source, and we need to find a way to onboard the whole Blender community. And I've been obsessed with that idea, not really been acting on it, but it's an obsession of mine is to get more people in Blender knowing about EOS.
Yeah.
But this guy's, Chip Walters, he's got great YouTube videos. It'll just blow your mind how easy it is to make things.
All right, we'll definitely check it out. Thanks.
Yeah.
And sure, Blender is an amazing all-in-one product. I mean, you can do concept arts first, you can do graphic design, then move on to graphics part, then video editing. I also recommend DaVinci Resolve. It's a good free tool to use for free editing. It's been quite better than Blender up until now. Blender is catching up real fast, so I'm really happy, and I've started to do video editing too on Blender. I mean, I've been working on animations for Fractally and Daniel Larimer to help him explain the whole concept of how a fractal works. And yeah, I've been surprising myself how much I've stayed on Blender. I don't want to leave the program anymore because I'm just too comfortable working on it. Yeah, having an all-in-one solution is what everyone wants. Sure.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing that. I'm just starting my process through that of making videos. Shot Cruz, part of our translation group, mentioned DaVinci, so I started with that. And then I realized I'll just put my videos up with nothing edited to start with. But yeah, I'm going to follow your lead, Chuck, and reach out to Martin as well. Once there's enough people in this Alien Worlds Fractal to kind of follow your lead. I like the claim instead of just sending it all out. I do have a bounty block tool. I was thinking of that, but I'm just watching your discussion, so I really appreciate you guys taking the lead. It really helps me out. And then Charles, my NFTs are just very, very plain. But yeah, if you're an expert on that, I only have so much capacity to learn a lot of new things, and maybe I'll just reach out to do something neat for the next evolution of NFTs, because I started with a trademarked Alien Worlds design and just used a free tool to make a fractal of it, and that was just my first NFT. But something, my vision was, I want this 3D. I like to take their original artwork and change it to make a fractal for this fractal. So yeah, I'm kind of bogged down right now, but if you're into it, I might ping you to ask for some help.
I'd be glad to. Sure. I always love to go in and just help people concept their work. Sure. I'm a very busy man, as always, and now I work full time. Since I joined the EOS community a year ago, I just came in because I got passionate about Daniel Larimer's book, More Equal Animals. The only reason I'm here is because of that book and Fractal Democracy. I want to see the world enjoy the benefits of. And a year after, here I am having a full-time job at EOS support. I'm a busier man, sure. I haven't had time to work on any freelance projects more than the ones I already am with Larimer. But yeah, you can always send me a request. Just ask me for ideas on concepts you have. I'm always happy to help.
I really appreciate that. That's awesome.
Sure.
I think the next step with the NFTs is, I keep saying it, but it's 3D objects that we can drop into worlds, and being able to walk around it, and if you're the permission holder, you walk up to it and it like does something for you. It's an ideal, and we're so, I mean, with EOS, we've got so many possibilities when it comes to permissions and just speed and reliability and everything. Like everything is going to be happening here.
Yeah, I'll drop a link. I just saw a video from some friends that showed this avatar, and it actually, when you bought it's an Ethereum, but when you bought the NFT, it came with all the 3D files, and then they're merging with different metaverses, and then I've kind of learned, hey, put in a bunch of virtual cameras, and so kind of starting to learn. You can see I'm just an amateur, but starting to learn, like, hey, put in this virtual camera, that's what loads this avatar, and then it can move around, and then the whole thing. So I was thinking the same. It's going to be the next step of a lot of these blockchain games on Wax, including Alien Worlds, is very 2D, and the next evolution to that was the Uplift, where they built in more of a 3D model, but it's all still based on what's the Minecraft. 3D Minecraft, yes. But just seeing that next step of just not owning a JPEG, owning the 3D model and changing it. So yeah, there's some big big things there. And then just using, I've got a 3D headset and just, you know, going into the VR chat and bringing that into the whole thing. So yeah, there's so much exciting things, you know, possible for sure.
And from now, what I've seen from the Liquid Universe app and developers, yeah, a little image, but it's 3D. They're already working with the 3D world for Liquid Universe, I think. Only had an image to look at, but seems so far.
Corvin Mayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he do a fantastic job with this universe.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the finished product.
I'm going to have to split, guys. Thanks so much again.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck.
Good job on this last call election. Chief Eden Delegate Board. And Michael also. Yeah. Happy.
You didn't
that all is coming fine.
In the last 2 days.
Oh, yesterday there was a fun conversation with Luca Persic. This guy.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I don't need to go there. Okay,
he's always like.
That's right. I got to run. See
you, Chuck. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've got to head to my next meeting too. So thanks so much, guys.
Yeah,
thank you. Duane.
Meeting today.
Very much. Thank you. See you on the next Alien World. Yeah. Okay. And yeah,
on mute. We're not so many. I assume we're gonna run, but 5-10 minutes.
EOS Supporters Day, next quiz.
Yeah,
you will see.
Yeah. Well, it's my job to promote all the good work we're doing here. So yeah, next
tomorrow
is another live stream for me to present everything we're working on.
Yeah. Because I had no time to watch those last weeks the EOS Fireside chat. For example, today, Wednesday, it's in my night, like Lenny, we are. I think, Lenny, you are, which time
Same
you are
time
now?
like you, same. So we are 5 p.m. here now.
So I cannot be during this fireside chat and follow. That's sometimes very long to follow.
You never know if it's going to be the 7-hour version or the 2-hour version.
the record was 7 hours one time, but I prefer to read. I prefer to read or to digest your support on the Thursday. That's nice.
Yeah, that's what we've been working on, having a short version of all that has been said on the fireside chat.
Yeah, something digest, like the Eden recap or the Fractally recap.
So yeah, Dario from my team assists all the EOS fireside chat and gives me later the notes for everything that has been said. Then I go into the live stream and do a simple version of everything that has been discussed for everyone.
Yeah, I think more going forward now we will be very busy. At least I speak for me. I think at a point I will not be able to. I said that since 4 years that I will not be able, and it seems to be that I am always. But
yeah, I gotta take a break sometimes.
Yes,
absolutely.
But the good point, I am accustomate, and my body, I can just sleep maybe 1 hour. It's okay. A turbo sieste, a turbo sleep. I sleep for 1 hour, a good shower, and after I am ready to go. Because
just go and check the heart every now and then, because it might be happening things inside anyway.
You have all the day to sleep. You have all the day to sleep. So I prefer to.
You can argue otherwise, but anyway.
No, I know. I see you with your experience here stating, you will see.
Yeah, well, I've been hitting the wall once, and I was on the way in the yacht. Not far. Yeah, I was on the way recently. But then you just have to alternate what you're doing, how you do it, and then no worries.
No. Sometimes
I have one experience to follow and say, all right, better learn, because you don't notice it yourself. It just happens, and then suddenly the doctor say, "Hey, what happened to you? You were so healthy," and suddenly the heart and everything is just jumping all over.
No, you're right. You're right. Sometimes I take some period that I name it Bahamas period. For me, Bahamas period means you have made a good job. Now you can take some break and enjoy and drink cocktails. But it seems to be that it is in my mind.
The
vodka
luxury,
time
the
and all this
luxury,
stuff. I am not drinking.
the luxury now when you're my age. I mean, I'm not retired yet. I'm working, but I work with things I love, like this, for instance, and listen in and stuff. But the thing is,
you're the older.
if I don't feel like it, I don't do anything. If I feel like it, I work like crazy for however long it takes. You know, it's up to me completely. But I had this 7 months I've been talking about where I was actually employed by someone fulfilling a contract. And I think I was dying, you know, damn it, you know, 1 month became 4 months and then another 3 months. And that was the biggest mistake I did because I have never been employed like that since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were always independent, indeed. Always independent.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and then you control everything yourself. It's
I
up
know
to
that.
you.
When you have been independent so long year, suddenly to become an employee and to have some hierarchy and all this stuff sometimes. It's
That's not so bad, but even
not too bad, but
Sweden, the thing is, I left Sweden in 1985.
Yeah.
I returned 4 years ago, 2018. So that's about 35 years almost. When I come back, wow, what have they done to this country? Yeah, sure, we're still up here, but they are killing the people because everyone, I see it in nursing, healthcare, I see it in teaching, I see it in my colleagues at Ocean and whatever. They're all becoming administrators, taking down the support levels ashore, and everyone has to do the support work as well, and losing focus on the main job, taking care of people, making sure cargo ships go where they need, etc., etc. And that's why everyone is on tranquilizers and passivity medicines and whatever, you know. It's not a good way things are going, even if Sweden is living very high, good up, but it's killing the people, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'd be very interested in your work with integrating the ideas of fractal democracy into your local politics. As soon as you got time, I'd be very happy to know.
That's one of the things. I mean, I've told everyone in the party. I've been kind of, what should I say, pitching it slightly since a year back, because no one here knows what blockchain is or anything. I mean, blockchain is not important, but the whole concept, holacracy and all these things and fractally, it's so strange for everyone over here, most people. So I just been pitching, and now people more and more start to, hey, what is that? And then we happen to have another meeting on the 13th of August leading up to the our national elections in September. And then they said, we were just sitting last night and, you know, what do we plan for the event and similar, 2-3 days in this city and stuff and similar. It's already on the way. And then someone said, hey, Lenny, maybe you could do your real pitch there. I said, because I happened to mention I was working on, you know, how to do it. And I'm not ready for that. So now I got to work with that too, because I can't lose that opportunity to get more teasers into the minds.
Yeah, as soon as I have the chance to do a conference about it, I take the position. So I am not prepared as well for anything like that, but
that's the dream to do that. That's the dream.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I'll tell you one thing about HIFA.
I don't know if I can do that in Switzerland, really.
You know, the HIFA, I saw there's been a bit of a, I think they almost made like a fork or something. Not yet, but I saw in Discord, because when I was checking out a day or two ago on HIFA and what do you call it? Remind myself, you know, I did it 6-8 months ago, and just to read up on it, look at the videos again, because I haven't worked with the HIFA yet. And then I went into the Discord, and they have a lot of arguments going on and similar, and it seems to be very frictional. But the HIFA is okay, but it's the power play and stuff. So I haven't had time to really follow up what's going on. But HIFA, of course, itself is very interesting, extremely interesting. It's so it's a complete
Jesse Jaffe is working now with HIFA, and the EOS Swiss workshop is planned for August 23rd, published, and I will have into the week of 15, so the week of 15 August indeed. I have 7 guests for the next workshop.
Wow.
Nice. It's gonna be
7. If I count Maurice Vanegas as also a workshop, that's make 8. So, but my record was 10 workshop in a week, 10 interview in a week. But this time, that will be a good one. There is Jesse Jaffe. I can tell you here. There is Jesse Jaffe. There is EOS Nation, Daniel Keys for Pomelo season 3. That will be finished on August 23rd. Is finished. So that will be the reflect on Pomelo season 3. And there will be Sebastian van der Lans from Boardproof. And there will be a red pool of Europe Chain, the CEO of Europe Chain. Jessica I have said, yeah. And who I miss? Yeah, there will be Tadas Veitikunas interviewed for the fractal governance on Fractally, his proposal. He will have a good one, I think. That I will interview with Dancing Joy. We will be two to interview, co-hosting. And the last one is Duane Philippi for Alien World. That makes sense. That to have two guys of Fractally, or let's say Eden Fractal also, into an interview. Maybe I should interview Lenny also.
No. I'm a guy who like to be in the behind the scenes a bit.
Seriously, I have.
Look at me historically. I've been involved everywhere.
Bishop, I have already interviewed him, but I should interview some community, members, because not only the OGs.
No, but you see, at my age, you learn your own where you go best and similar. And if you were to study my history, I've been chairman and then not chair and back and forth and different things.
No,
but I do my best work. Bishop. I do my best work when I'm under the boss, because I don't like to be out in front. I prefer to be, pushing from behind.
Okay. But don't worry. The videos are pre-recorded.
No. We can talk about that next year or something when I got more time.
Yeah, no. I have no stress to do that. And it's very straight to the point. After when you see the video, is all time stamped into chapters. That's my video.
Okay, I promise you one thing, Patrick. Once I got recaps after
breakdown video. Voilà the recap.
No. It's not going to be for another 6 months at least before I get to where I want to do. That's why I'm not joining any teams or anything. I'm trying to stay completely neutral because US is here, but we got all the other blockchains and whatever. I'm looking at.
Thank you, Vlad. See you
so that'll be next year.
Thank you. Thank you, Vlad.
See you, Vlad.
Okay.
No, don't worry. The interviews are indeed breakdown on a subject, and we go on the why, the how, the what, and after you can watch that later on, and I integrate that into the mind map. Indeed, it's not live. I will be never live. Impossible. I cannot do like Bishop live.
And live is tricky. Live is tricky.
First, I don't speak very well English. I am not very fluent. No, not very well. I am not fluent. I'm thinking when I am speaking, that's not okay. I could never do hot sauce like Dan or your support like Bishop. Maybe when I will. And it's not my cup of tea. I am not for that.
We all have different talents, different ways.
Voilà.
I'm not a good speaker. I can speak, but I'm not a good speaker. I don't get the message across myself.
No, I think I am okay to do breakdown videos, structuring the things, doing mind mapping and all this stuff. Help the value content creator, indeed. It's what I have seen now, obviously.
It's like just now, this political party here, because I'm part of a board and I've been stirring them up and pushing them a little bit, because I don't want to start a brand new thing in Sweden. That's going to take 10 years longer. These guys are there. They've been here for 10 years, but they just go up and down every election, So then they have now been invited to take part in a discussion round. There's only 20 parties with candidates into the parliament. 20 parties. Yeah, but you have a 4% barrier. So anyway, they invited and they want to have a good article from us, our party program. But of course, we don't have a party program, except it's going to be direct democracy and liquid democracy combined. That's the only party that does it. So that's the kind of thing. So they said, okay, we work on this. I said, yeah, you guys work on it. And when you've done it, I'll have a look at it. And then I give my small bits and pieces and similar. Because I'm not
okay.
I'm not
it's
good
like for the kitchen. When all is cooked, you come and you say, voila, now.
Anyway, I got to go. I do have a next meeting with those guys.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Have a good
discussion.
Thanks.
Thank you, Lenny.
See you, Lenny. Thank you, Spijur.
Take care.
And Charles also. Thank you.
See you, Lenny. Thank you.
Merci.
Ouais, ouais. Et très bonne réunion aujourd'hui, du coup. Et, je vais retourner travailler aussi du coup. Je te dis à bientôt, Patrick.
Oui, moi aussi, Charles. À bientôt. Ciao,
Bonne
ciao.
journée.
Tout le bon. Ciao. Ciao.